Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today, ta-da, you are in my bedroom and I'm wearing no makeup and this is August Plan With Me. So a few days ago I got notification from my HR that potentially I could have been exposed to a new team member that tested positive for COVID. So I went a few days ago to get my test done and I'm still waiting for the result. Alas, I still wanted to film this video, so I did my Plan With Me on my phone and I used my desk in my room to do that. So yeah, just wanting to be safe than sorry, and so that's why I got the test done. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But enjoy August Plan With Me. It has a very, what I would consider jewel-toned kind of color palette. So I have 528 Tombow, 158 green, and 942 tan. So yeah, well, let's get into it, shall we? So there, I just gave you a quick overview of my pen test spread for this month's Plan With Me, which was a lot simpler than the last few. Let me tell you, there is nothing like cracking open a new notebook, and if you are a bullet journaler, you know that. So I cut the plastic off. This time I will be using, I'm using the bullet journal that I've had kind of in reserve for the longest, and I have a few coming up that I'm super excited to use. A few from Archer and Olive. I'm so excited. So, yeah, so this is not a setup, like a migration video. So all I did was pencil in at the beginning the different spreads that I'm gonna use, like my future log, my memories spread, to name a few. I'm pretty much doing the same as past years, but I think I am going to try to do a reading list spread again. And I take my temperature every day before work now because we've been asked to do that. So I have what's called a time and temp log spread that I'm going to do at the beginning, and then I'll use up the page, and then I will just use the next available space for the next one. So what I call my wall calendar spread, which is like the main spread of the month, takes the longest amount of time to set up. So for this one, what I like to do is I like to pencil in my spacing. This month I used a 7x7 grid calendar layout instead of 6x6, so to give myself a little bit more room. This is my handy dandy Artist Loft graph ruler from Michaels. It was recommended Caitlin from Caitlin's Corner here on YouTube. She uses one, and for the longest time I was like, oh, that is so cool. What is that awesome ruler that she uses? And I finally went and got myself one. So this is the 18-inch one, which is great for doing the double page spreads, but I have to admit it's quite long. It's hard to store. I believe on the website they said that they had a 12-inch one as well. So if you don't want one so big, maybe I would get that one, but it's nice because it's easy to see through. So originally I was going to just do a traditional block calendar where I block everything in. But then when I saw how nice and open this layout was, I was like, yeah, no, I'll go for this. So, I just have the horizontal lines. I do a line on the top for that first day of the month for Saturday. And then I was like, well, how am I going to divide the days if I don't do lines? And then I was like, oh, well, I'll do little dots. So essentially I drew a little dot at the end of each line, and then where a line would be if I had drawn one, for example. So I just kind of used the ruler as like my guide. And then I went in with my new handy dandy eraser that I got while I picked up that ruler at Michael's, because my Faber-Castell eraser disappeared. So I erased my pencil marks. And then I used the Tombow in 942 to do my headings for the days of the week. So Sunday through Saturday. So I actually decided to turn on one of my baby lights that I had bought in. It's from Aputure. So I don't know if you can notice the difference in the quality of the video, but I finished off the numbering of the calendar with the Tombow 158, the bullet tip end, and then I did my best with hand lettering for the titles this month. So I used the blue, the 528 for the titles this month. So I decided I also wanted to do a vertical calendar, whether I'll use that for YouTube, personal care, or just as a calendar, I'm not sure. I didn't like last month that my vertical calendar was on the right side of the page. I didn't like it, and I found myself not using it a lot. So I just did, I made my calendar a secondary calendar on the back side of what I call my wall calendar spread. So I used the green Tombow in 158 to do the days of the month, and then the days of the week I ended up using the Tombow, the 942, and again I did the title in blue. So up next is my daily gratitude spread. This is something I started doing again last month. And I haven't used it every single day, but I feel like knowing it's there means that I write that stuff down more, if that makes sense. So here I just used, again, my hand lettering is not great at all because I've never actually learned really how to do it properly. One thing I was a little bit upset about is that I kind of took up too much room with the letter D, and so I couldn't have the 1 start on the same row as the 1 in the calendar on the opposite page, which again, that's a small thing, but I wish I would have been a bit more careful. And again, I use the green for the days of the week and the tan for the days of the week. The date is green and days is tan. Next, what I went in and did is I highlighted every other line in the gratitude spread, and I used the tan Tombow to do that, the 942. I really like that look, and it just helps me keep track of the different lines. And up next is the finance spread. This is essentially the same as it is and has been every month. I just do my title, and then I do the little boxes down the left-hand side, and I kind of separate the different categories. Some of them I fill out here, some of them I don't. But things like cell phone, car payment, that sort of stuff I write down. If I have to pay my parents back for something, my subscriptions that come out. I just like to be very aware of where I am monetarily. And I'm really crushing the debt game right now, so I'm loving that. I added a few little dollar signs in green, and here's my flip through quickly. So just the four spreads technically, and then my first daily, and that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.